Good evening, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. And we're very happy to be here. We give honor and praise, and we bear witness that Allah is God and Muhammad is his messenger. And we bear witness that God has many messengers, but Muhammad is his messenger, certainly, and two. So, brothers and sisters, we're thankful to the beneficent, the merciful, master of the day of requital. Thee do we serve, and thee do we serve alone. Guide us on the right path, a path of righteousness, not as hypocrites, but as righteous people on your path to do your righteous work and to walk in your righteous way. Amen. Brothers and sisters, we are every day going farther and farther down the rabbit hole. And we got a beast, pardon me, let me get myself together. We got a beast in office. We talked about it. We talked about the beast, right? Right? And we know that he's getting ready to take the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment away. Now, not that it ever made you free from slavery, because you're still a slave. You're still a slave. So it never made you free from slavery. However, the idea of it, the idea of the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment, the idea of it, right? To free the slave, to count for voting. You did the very same thing, right, in 1964, 65, right? It's the same thing. Citizenship, voting, right, and giving you rights, right? So you had citizenship right, and then voting rights, right? So it should have freed you. It should have freed you. In a nutshell, it should have freed you. But it didn't free you, right? So it doesn't matter whether you have it or not. That's not the real issue. The real issue is not whether you have it. That's not the real issue. So we have to think in terms that are realistic to our situation and what we go through as Black people. We have to, in other words, open our eyes and see exactly what's going on, right? Because if you don't open your eyes, you're going to miss it. Now, there are Black people still saying Trump isn't racist after he's done all the things that he's doing. All the things he's doing, there's still people saying he's not racist. We're not going to stay on this a long time because we already know that he is. But what you don't know is when he start pulling these protections and pillows from under you, right? These political protections, because they haven't protected you physically. It only protected you politically. But when he starts pulling all of this stuff away, then he's going to start making demands. Now, he pulled, as you know, the 1964 Civil Rights Act away. Not that you ever got civil rights. Everybody has civil rights but you. But it's the thought of it. It's the thought of what he's doing. So, pull that away, people begin to panic, right? Right? You never had voting rights. As you know, we've called hell. Never had voting rights. You've been catching hell since day one just trying to vote, right? That was a whole situation. Integrating the bus line and then allowing you to vote, right? So before you, or rather, before the Mexican, there's you. He made promises, the white man, America, right? Because run by white men. America is run by white men. And he made you feel that you were welcome, right? So he gave you these ideas about voting, these ideas about serving in public office and all of that. He gave it to you, okay? Now, it was politically beneficial because it worked for him. If you abolish slavery, then you no longer have slaves, right? It was beneficial. So cosmetically, it was a benefit. It was very beneficial, but it was a cosmetic fix because you still didn't have voting. Really, you didn't have representation. You were merely representing the master's property. And they put you there to represent the master's property. Not that you had rights, because you don't have any rights. And that's what's so hard for a lot of black women to understand as they serve in political office. This is not a springboard for you to handle your insecurities. You're in there to represent other folk. That's what you're in there. You're in there for the interests of other folk. Right? And if we start taking this freedom thing seriously, we'll really lose an understanding of everything that's going on. If we don't really pay attention to this document called the Constitution and who it was written for. Because the Constitution is written of, for, and by whites. Not written for us. Not written for us. Of, for, and by whites. You are an incident. So incidentally, you were added to the Constitution, but not because the Constitution mattered. Because you didn't really know what the document was all about. You learned about this document in slavery. Prior to that, you didn't know anything about this constitutionary document. Now, but if we could say that, constitutionary, can we say that? We're going to say that. You didn't know anything about this document. So you learn about it. You learn about the civil liberties under this document. But keep in mind, you didn't know anything about it. And the fact that you didn't know anything about it challenges the way that you saw it. Now, when America abolished slavery, you didn't actually see the results of it until like 30 years later. Didn't happen immediately because there were different levels or different processes, different dispensations the slave would go to. One of them was, hey, you can work a job on this land. You know, you can pay me and also pay yourself. So that was going into sharecropping. And the states were complicit in that. And so the government went along with it. Right? Abraham Lincoln said, what? If I could save the Union, have it all free, have some of it free, right? And some slave, all slave, right? Or all free. But whatever he needed to do, it was to keep them united, right? On this question of slavery. And I want you to understand that all the states in the colony, were united on these facts of keeping slavery, keep it going. They were united on that. So when the time came for these revolutionary revolts, because after 1793, the Haitian revolt lasted for years. And in 1804, Louisiana was given up by Napoleon so they could earn extra money. And so you get the Louisiana Purchase of 1803 and 1804. So the whole point of taking over the land and bringing people here along with the people that were already here was to create reservations and plantations to control land, to control marketing, to control industry. Because the black man and the red man were the chief stocks. Chief stocks. Bar none. They were the chief stocks. They were the reason that slavery was financed. The red man and the black man on the reservation and the plantation. This is a fact. Now, so you never had any rights. Even after you're emancipated, you still don't have any rights. The Native American don't have any rights. They're using you one toward the other in slavery and outside of slavery. In slavery, some of the Indians, especially the Cherokee, the indigenous Cherokee, they enslave you. Others fought against slavery and helped slaves escape. Okay? And after the Freedom Wars, I'm gonna call them that, Freedom Wars, right? Then the white man put the black man against the native. So he put one indigenous man against the other indigenous man, right? So they could try to kill each other out. And it's shameful. The history of the Buffalo Soldier is shameful. It's a shameful period. He can't pat himself on the back. No one that served as a Buffalo Soldier can pat themselves on the back. This is not good, because these are commemorated for killing the red man and went back to the white man. The white man still gave him hell. See what I'm saying? So the red man and the black man have learned a great lesson not to be used by the white man. Don't believe anything the white man says. If he said left, go right. This is something that they've come to understand. So, brothers and sisters, Donald Trump, in the last 3 minutes, this is what he's going to do. I have to talk about the other stuff because it's foundation. But I want you to understand we're talking about the indigenous red man and the indigenous black man. Indigenous red, indigenous black. That's our discussion. Now, he's already taken the 1965 Civil Rights Act, right? Which one handled civil rights and the other one handled voting rights. Now, he's making a statement that things were better in the past when black people were slaves. This is what he's doing. So now he's working on the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment. What did 13 do? Free the slave. 14 gave him citizenship. 15 gave him the right to vote, right? And I say him, I mean them, they, those. So you take that back, then you'll say, well, no big deal, right? Because you working a worker's wage, that's still slavery. So he said, oh, no big deal. I just keep living the way I'm living. Of course, you're out of your mind, but you're going to do it. The final thing that Trump is going to do is try to re-sign slavery into law. But it won't work in this time. Nothing he's doing will work in this day. May work in 1925, but it's not going to work in 2025. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And you'll find that black people are different now. They're not going back and change. I don't care what you say. They're not going to prison or anything like that. You'll have the biggest bloodbath you ever had in your history. Biggest bloodbath you ever had in American history. The biggest. Because black people are not going back into slavery. But he's trying to push you toward a flashpoint so that will happen. You got to be wise to know what's going on. And defend yourself, brothers and sisters. You better defend yourself. You better defend yourself. Excuse me, brothers and sisters. I know you understand. You better defend yourself. If you got any sense, you'll do it. Because it's a right given to you by God. Right? You won't be able to use the Constitution anymore because he just took the Civil Rights Act as far as he's concerned. He just took the Voters' Rights Act as far as he's concerned. So you won't be able to use the Constitution anymore. So you got to get wise. Start defending yourself. Real revolutionaries defend themselves. You don't ask to be free. You become free. Brothers and sisters, that's all I have for you. I thank you. I love you. Love one another. Love your children. Teach them in the admiration of God, the admonition of God, and the admonition of parents, right? Do your best, brothers and sisters, amongst one another. Love one another. Treat each other right. Be righteous. Love the children. Give them an example to follow. So when they go out, their lifestyle will convict the average person, and they will say, what must I do to be saved? Brothers and sisters, I'm thankful and pleased. And we'll be back to see you again later this evening at 5 o'clock. I want to thank you very much for stopping by. And if I didn't say it in the beginning, I say to you now, peace be unto you. Peace be unto you that move beyond all understanding. We say peace be unto you. May God bless and keep you, brothers and sisters. Peace.